Hello and welcome back. I'm Arumba. Thank you for joining me. Let's do Arumba's Assay as Portugal. Alright, we're going to continue playing this a bit. We're going to repay these loans super quick. We're down to just 3 loans. Interest rate's at 3.75. About 240 gold to go. And I think we can afford, to lower maintenance for a while and get them paid off a lot quicker. It hurts. It does hurt. If we had gone into colonization with some actual positive income, we could be colonizing this whole time. Instead, we're just kind of struggling to maintain the economy, but it is what it is. You know, we'll struggle through. We'll get there. About to take Miltech 7. Getting close to getting caught up here. 8, 9. We did spawn colonialism, so we don't have to worry too much about the cost of the next institution, which is very, very fortunate for us. Got caught spying on Mr. Morocco. Let's go ahead and... You know what? We do have the standard missions, do we not? We should have competitive advantage. Build to our naval force limit gives us diplo points, naval stuff. If we do that, we can get a bunch of admin points and permanent claims on Garb. And expanding the buffer zone pushes us down even farther. Also gives negative unrest and local trade power. So we should probably try to prioritize building to our force limit right now. We will take a claim on Melilla just so we have a CB. But beyond that, let's not worry about spying on him for a while. We broke free from Lithuania, it looks like. Whoa! What on earth happened to them? Interesting. Religious tensions. Reduce taxes or take 10 unrest in Garb. We'll just take the tax rate penalty. There's very little actual income coming from this province, so it's not a big deal. Let's pay off another loan. Lose stab or lose a lot of money? Money is the thing that's really driving us right now. Unfortunately, I'm just going to take the stab hit and bump it back up again. That's a negative event that you do get when the nobles are disloyal. When they're unhappy, you risk that, but... Alright, we can take tech. I'm going to just take it even though there's that colonialism penalty, because we want to make sure our army's strong. The Portuguese peasants who are upset in Bragança. Let's park the army up there. Just do that for 2 months, get the unrest back down to 0, and then we can come home for a bit. Reformation did just branch out. So we have access to Reformed now, if we wanted to do that. I'm assuming at this point that we couldn't actually become Protestant with a center. No, we would get the Center of Reformation. We could become Reformed if we wanted to. There is a little bit of cash in that. We would lose all of our prestige, though, again. And we're just barely starting to gain legitimacy. We're also missing out on 2 relationship slots. We don't have access to the diplomatic macro builder, so we have to kind of manually look around and see who would want to be our friend. Mamluks have kind of expanded a lot. See, I would say our primary rival is Morocco. So Tlemcen is a potential ally. They hate us. They've rivaled us. Let's just improve relations with these guys anyway. See if we can maybe convince them to not be our enemies. And then there was one. We go 86 ducats. Then we can start colonizing. Without having to worry about constantly being in debt. We can even call Dave Ramsey. He's a talk show host who talks about being debt free. It's funny. It's funny if you know the reference, okay? Portugal's starting to expand into the New World a little bit. It's been long enough that we can actually demand admin points from the clergy. If we do that, though, right now, we'll lose out on our missionary strength bonus. And right now, that's the only thing giving us any extra ability to do it. We need to wait a couple months before we demand those points. I don't know that we're going to be able to convert Tangier right now. Lose admin points, lose prestige. Once again, we can't afford any monarch point hits right now. The 5 papal influence for that conversion, that's very nice. Down to a 5% chance of being the Curie controller. Missionary strength here would be positive, but that's only because we have the clergy loyal, and they won't be loyal long enough to get the conversion done, and there's no other way to make them happy. So we'll just demand our 150 monarch points and call it good, and let them trend back up. At this point, we definitely want to accept Moroccan culture, though, which will now allow us to convert at an extra 2% speed, so maybe we could consider doing a conversion. If we gave this to the clergy, it would have been even faster. Sought support is gone. There's prestige and legitimacy to make them loyal again. Let's save that until they get a little bit closer so we can make them loyal even more. We can pay off our last loan, and it looks like we are now good to start colonizing. So, we could try to rebuild our... At this point now, like, I'm going to shift gears, and now we want to turn on all the stuff that we had to turn off. Like, we want to turn on the forts. Why turn on the forts when we're not at war? Because we have 150 development, we have 3 forts, and with all 3 forts on, we will maintain our army tradition. Army tradition gives morale of armies and better generals. Better generals saves tons of lives, so we want to keep that on if possible. Now that we have the means to pay for it, we might as well. Next, we want to start picking up level 1 advisors. Might consider firing this guy after that last conversion. Get a little bit of cash so we can hire the level 1 advisors. And actually, if I had to choose between colonizing and running an advisor, I might take the colony. So the ledger, look for the tab possible colonies, sort by development. We can see that Barbados has 11 development with the best chance, which is it's a good reason to go there. So yeah, let's send our colonists out to there. With the DLCs that we have, we do have to be concerned about natives, because there is no native coexistence policy with the two DLCs that we have. So we do want to look for islands that are not going to like rebel too hard. Low native population. The smaller it is, the easier it'll be to fight them off. Let's go to... You know what? Let's yeah, I guess we'll start here. We're not going to get any adjacent controlled bonus, plus 5 global settler increase for having 2 provinces adjacent to each other. That's alright. Let's send two guys over to that province. This is going to cost us 4 ducats a month to run both colonists, but that's about all we can do. And we do want to start making boats. Arcs, in particular. Might even be better to build the boats before we start colonizing, honestly. We have expanded Portugal. Awesome. Get our maintenance up to full for a moment. And I would say that based on the DLC that we have, the best thing to do is going to be to just murder the natives. For 2 military power, we can kill these island natives, and then we don't have to worry about them rebelling at all. We can keep our army back home where we need it. Let's just, you know, kind of like pre-take care of the natives here. This island, then this island, just kill them all. A little bit of, casual genocide. Also put a leader in charge, that will help out. Also, let's hire a guy. Can't hire a guy just yet. Alright, well, I guess Diego 0102 will have to be in charge. Murder more natives, please. Be a little bit tougher to fight 2,000 natives would give us, it'll be 2 enemies. Let's go pick up a couple more units. We'll pick up the cav and the infantry. Just auto transport them over here. So these now they have no natives, their aggressiveness and ferocity don't matter. We can just colonize these safely. Same thing here. There's no risk of uprising. And we'll try to get these colonies done as soon as we can. Now, based on something, we are losing money now. Got our colony maintenance, fort maintenance, state maintenance, advisor costs. Oh, it's because we have full maintenance on right now, right? All right, I'll turn off the forts. Again, like, if possible, we want to run those, but we're not going to lose money to do so. You start protecting trade in Sevilla. Now, it says that it's going to be at a loss. It's really frustrating, but don't trust it. Watch our trade income. Having that ship just made us like an extra 0.7 ducats a month, and the maintenance cost is 0.05. We are making a profit for having it on. I don't know why it likes to tell you you're going to make a loss, but it's not correct. Math's just not right. Cardinal Minister? Yes, please. We'll take that missionary strength. Absolutely. We have a regency now. The Blasphemy Act can be passed for an extra 1% missionary strength. Hey, our Regency Council is like 4 times as good as our previous ruler. Can you believe it? Now, the downside to doing this is that we are going to miss out on a very, very, very small amount of goods produced, which is worth like a tiny, tiny bit of base development. But the advantage is that now that it's done, this land has been like purged. Let's also purge this province of Trinidad since it's part of the colonial Caribbean. Then we can just send our army home and just not worry about the colony for quite a long time. Just get it all done at once. Let's take this tech with an 8% penalty, or we could wait for enough money to embrace the institution or for it to spread more. Alright, we can auto fleet transport back to Lisboa and lower maintenance down to 0. And that's the final missionary done. So we don't need to have this level 3 half price, full price guy. Let's just fire him, honestly. And stockpile our cash and start building some boats. Hungary is the papal controller. That's the pop-up that alerts that you need to spend a little bit of papal influence to have a chance. If you were to die tomorrow, right now we have a 50% chance. You never know. Sometimes they do like die back to back. It's worthwhile to click right away. The Holy Inquisition. Gain papal influence and gain missionary strength. A little bit of a tech cost penalty. That is definitely worthwhile. Missionary strength will help out in the future for the next... It's only 10 years in... Well, yeah, no, it's good. Let's do it. Let's not piss off the Pope. Tech cost penalty is only 5%. 5% to 600 is like 30 points. It's not a big deal. Alright, we can actually support... we could make a generous donation again if we had needed to convert anything else, but we're actually totally fine on religious unity now. Tunis has declared war on Tlemcen. Excellent. Everyone's fighting each other. That's what we like. Moroccans and all the Berbers just not getting along. Great. I'll take the autonomy over the extra unrest, probably. Yeah, let's just lower the unrest and get the autonomy. Since it's already assigned to an estate, we're already getting most of the benefits of it anyway. Since emissary to Pope is gone, we can do that again. Let's call Diet to get the nobles loyal a little bit sooner. Same thing with sending an emissary to the Pope. Let's just do that so we keep our papal influence generation quite a bit. And look, we can already get another contribution. Before we do that, we grant monopoly charters, get them up to 75%, take a nice big fat contribution of money. And then we use that to, yes, embrace the institution, probably. Colonialism's in almost every province we own. That sounds good. Let's embrace colonialism. And we can take our tech without penalty. Twice. Assuming we're playing a standard colonial game, we're going to go for expansion next. Let's hire a new admiral. Let's do grant new world charter, get him to 75%. I'm going to turn right around now and make them upset in order to get these extra monarch points, but that's all right. And we can also get some military points. Let's do a general. They're already mad, so nothing's going to change. Take another 150 military points. Try to get caught up on Miltech. I do have a couple lazy diplomats right now, but it's only because I'm used to having the the macro builder thing. We want to have the admiral assigned to one of the fleets that's out here working. Rather than just putting them with the transports. Okay, Miltech 8s. We're now almost caught up to our neighbors. Just that Granada is up, but Granada allied the Ottomans. So we're making 4 ducats a month now while supporting the 2 colonies. We can also probably afford to keep the forts on. Castile's laid a claim to Aragon. That could be interesting. Okay, can we revoke this from the clergy? Yeah, I think we will. Let's revoke that from the clergy, give that to the burghers. The burghers need that land anyway, because it's got an estuary, which is just more appropriately held with them. Now we can go ahead and seek support amongst the clergy to get their loyalty almost back, and then I do think it's worthwhile to do this click soon. Aragon broke their alliance, unsurprising, considering that he just claimed his throne. More light ships. And our colonies are already at 400. We've found some tobacco, and St. Martin has found some cotton. On their own, they don't make much money. They're making like barely anything at the moment, but eventually they will start to profit us. King Sebastio's expedition to North Africa. Gain papal influence and gain a claim on Melilla. Bunch of places. Sure. Make Morocco dislike us? Why not? Sounds like a plan. Free claims are always good, right? Lose legitimacy, get a national tax modifier boost, piss off the burghers a bit, or we can gain legitimacy and make the burghers loyal. Great. Definitely take that. We have 75 papal influence here. Let's do the church tax again. Okay, we are at only 9 out of 28 of our force limit. Ideally, we would have already done the first mission here, competitive advantage, when we had much lower naval force limit. So we could have easily gotten this 150 admin points, but it'll take a long time. Got to build a lot of boats. We aren't supporting any advisors yet. Honestly, I think I might turn off the forts again, just so we can try to build these boats out quicker. Importing iron. Gain military points? Or gain mercantilism? Well, we're going to make a lot of money from trade over time. We're not that far behind on Miltech now, so I think it will take the mercantilism. Mercantilism directly affects your provincial trade power, which affects your trade power in the node, and it's good to stack in the long run. Aragon has no air. On Monarch death. Noble from De Trastamara cedes to the throne. I mean, it's the same dynasty already. Okay, we'll take Diplotech. We do have increased narrow-minded, it's fine. Colonial company goes bankrupt. Lose 50% of our population in St. Martin. Or 50 ducats. Well, one thing we can do is just kind of leave this pop-up up for 2 months. Try to avoid having to take a loan. That way we don't miss out on the extra money from the interest. Naples is now the carry controller. I take it that means that Naples is independent, or are they still a subject? No, they still are, underneath Aragon. Okay. It's funny how our trade income keeps going up, even though every time I add a ship, the game says you'll lose money if you do it. We do have some unrest that's getting kind of high. It's probably about time to raise maintenance and put down the rebels a bit. So we have Portuguese noble rebels in Beira and in Beja. 1.4 requires 6 troops, so we'll just take the army and split it between the two provinces. We should be able to get that unrest to just start ticking down right away. Except now the Portuguese pretenders are suddenly at 110%? How's that happen? How do they suddenly jump to 110? That's kind of goofy. Portuguese pretenders want to install a 232 with strong claim, and the current heir will die. Cost to let them win would be no effect on Siege 1. We could just mothball our forts and let them win. Honestly, I wouldn't mind just getting rid of this low legitimacy. This guy's got 8 monarch points. This fella has got, looks like, what, 3 plus 4, 7 monarch points? Not quite as good, but strong claim means that you start off with, like, 80 legitimacy. Weak claim will put us at 20. Yeah, I think I'd rather just take that other guy. So we'll just hide the army and let him siege. Let him win. I mean, it's not like we really care about our De Avis dynasty. We don't have the... No one else is on our dynasty, so... That's totally fine. By leaving the fort mothballed, then they can just siege it super fast and... enforce their demands in no time at all. Yet another colonist. Steel's coming in behind, trying to unsiege stuff for us. But they are very, very soon, they're going to get this enforced demand in. Importing iron yet again. Yeah, we'll take the mercantilism. As well lower maintenance since we are currently not going to be fighting these rebels at all. And actually, do we want to consider starting a third colony? I think yes. Let's do this one here. Now that they have the capital, they will enforce demands in almost no time at all. They'll start ticking up 22 months. Since we have so few provinces being actually controlled, like our capital right now, we have less trade power, so we're actually losing money for a moment. That's alright. We're actually going to let them win. We do not want the... we don't want rebels to break the country. We actually would prefer for them to just enforce demands. Which is a little bit different. If they break the country, then we lose our stability point. Let's unoccupy some of these provinces and just let them keep the capital. But then still hide our army. If Castile wants to go nuts and try to really like stop the whole thing, I'm fine with that, but for the most part, I am totally content to get our legitimacy reset. Someone needs to be in charge. And we have an heir. Another day of ease. Another person, another baby to get killed, huh? Three months away. Go ahead. Execute the child. Install the new one. Just do it. Ready? Look at that. We've suddenly changed, and we are now King Francisco Noronha, a 135, with 95 legitimacy. That's much better. I'll gladly take that. And it didn't even require us to do much. First union on monarch death, succession war between Castile and England, that's fine. It's because we have no heir. We also incidentally inherited those troops, by the way, up to our force limit. It's another reason to let pretenders occasionally succeed in their demands. Turn our force back off, make some cash, stock up these two ships, and keep on building barks. Still have 15 more light ships to make before we actually have enough for the mission. But we also have colonies going. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much more we want to play this out. I feel like I've shown that it's a very salvageable save. There's nothing wrong with it. We'll take the loyalty at the expense of prestige. I want to keep the clergy happy. I know that I keep saying I want prestige, right? But embrace the Counter-Reformation, make the Pope happy. It's more papal influence, missionary strength versus heretics, missionaries. We don't need to do that right now, though, so let's not. The only way to avoid this is to have a baby. We could do royal marriages. We already have royal marriages active, so we have less chance to getting it. We could ask people for royal marriages. We'll just look around a little bit. Improve relations with someone that might accept. A lot harder to find these without that diplomatic micro builder. But yeah, I'm gonna take a break here. Let me know what your thoughts are. I think we're good. I think we can call it good here. As always, thank you for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying the campaign. I'll see you soon.